Well, good afternoon, everyone. Today, we are shining a light on all things e-commerce. So welcome to our next Lunch and Learn Educational. We'll be helping those of you who are interested in finding success, specifically selling through the Amazon platform. And to help us break it all down, I'd like to welcome our guest speakers from Amazon today. We have Mickey Chung, who is the Startup Development Manager for the Amazon Launchpad program. And he assists Australian brands to increase their exposure and launch with Amazon. And Teresa Chow, who is a key account manager in both the home and leisure and automotive team in Amazon. And she helps onboard and launch high potential sellers onto the platform. So welcome to you both.
Thanks for the introduction. I guess we can kick things off since we already have a really good introduction. Feel free to pop any questions in the chat and then we can kind of answer them as we go, or feel free to leave your questions till the end and then we can go through things afterwards. But yeah, let's go through the just some, I guess, key points about online shopping. So with AusPost data, it showed that Australian households shopped online. 9.2 million households shopped online in 2021. So I think, this just goes to show how COVID has really changed the online platform. Pre-COVID, I think we're seeing a lot less shoppers, but post-COVID and during COVID, we've seen a lot of growth. So year on year, we've seen 57% growth in online purchases, and that was in 2020, and that's according to Quantium data. So we at Amazon here have seen a lot of growth as well that is reflected in these numbers. And then if you look at Amazon's growth journey, we've actually invested $5.3 billion across all Amazon businesses since we've launched here in Australia. We have over 6,000 Amazon employees across all Amazon businesses. We've increased our storage capacity for FBA sellers 60%, which is actually quite a lot. And we can touch on this a little bit more later. But yeah, we have 6 fulfillment centers now all across Australia. And yeah, we're just continuing to grow every day. And as of now, we have over 200 million products available on amazon.com.au. Cool. So there are 6 not so secret ingredients of being successful on Amazon. And I think in my time of being an account manager, it's really up to the sellers on what they do. We tell them, the ingredients to success, but we find that with the sellers who only adopt a few of these, it's quite a lot harder to be successful. So firstly, you do need meaningful selection. Secondly, you need a good delivery experience. So customers don't like waiting for products, especially if it's like over 2 weeks, or depending on the area. But yeah, for like Sydney, Melbourne metro areas, there is an expectation of really good delivery experience. Scale, so you can really grow your Amazon store to not only Australia and New Zealand, but to the US, to the UK, to Asia, anywhere you want. So you can really scale your business through Amazon. Product promotions is also key, especially since we do have quite a bit of selection on Amazon. You want your products to stand out. Business reviews, always look at your numbers, see what's working, see what's not, change things as you go. And of course, you need a really good customer experience. Cool. So I think as an account manager, when we work with sellers, we really focus on having a checklist in your first 90 days. This is the really crucial period where you initially launch, you may gain some traction, you may not. And there's some key things that you do want to do. So for example, you want to be using Fulfillment by Amazon to ensure that there is a good customer experience. People love getting their deliveries as fast as next day. I don't know if any of you guys are customers yourself, but you can actually get it as soon as same day now. So that is something that is very important to our customers, and we have really invested into the delivery experience. So definitely utilize FBA where you can. Secondly, advertising on Amazon, especially in your first 90 days. You know, you've just launched, you need to get some traction, otherwise your products are just going to sit and it's not going to reach your customers. People don't like scrolling to the 10th page on their search. They like, you know, looking at the first 1 or 2 pages. So what's FBA? That's a really good question. That is Fulfillment by Amazon. So that's where you pop your products into our fulfillment centers, and then we fulfill your orders. And we'll touch on that a little bit later as well. But actually, yeah, let's go into it now. Delivery experience. Cool. So there's 3 options when it comes to fulfilling your orders on Amazon. So one is FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon. So essentially, you send your stock to our fulfillment center. As soon as it's sent in, we receive it, and then once it gets stored and it's ready for customers, your products will go live, and we take care of everything else from that point onwards in terms of your inventory. So as soon as a customer places an order, we pick and pack the order, we ship it to the customer, and then we handle like any returns, refunds, any questions. Of course, you know, if there's any product related questions, we will ask you guys to talk to the seller, just because we don't have all the information we need in terms of product specific questions. But yeah, for the most part, we do handle all of the customer questions. And it just gives you guys a lot more time to focus on building your brand on Amazon, focusing on, you know, what really matters, rather than scrambling to get, you know, 50 orders sent through the door. So yeah, we always really recommend putting your products in Fulfillment by Amazon where you can. And we do have a new selection program that I can touch on a bit later, but it's basically, it just helps you guys with some of your costs there as well. We also have Amazon Easy Ship. So this is a new program. Basically, we have negotiated rates with third-party carriers, and then we have allowed all of the sellers selling on Amazon to use those rates. So you're not going to get, you know, the Prime badge. Your products are not going to be Prime products, but it does help when you are fulfilling orders yourself. It just helps with the rates and that. And then the last one is just seller fulfilled. So essentially, you take care of everything yourself. You pick and pack all of your orders, you send it out, you take care of everything. And keep in mind, you can do a hybrid model. So you can do Amazon Easy Ship and FBA, or you can do your own seller fulfilled and FBA as well. But you aren't able to do Amazon Easy Ship and your own seller fulfilled. Cool. If we move on here, it just breaks down the benefits. But I think the way that I like to see it is with FBA, the main benefits is that the customer gets the best delivery experience possible on average. We take care of everything, so you have a lot more time to build your own brand, to focus on things that really matter. With Easy Ship, for us, we like to say it as a better solution to self-shipped. It's still obviously not, I'd say, as good as Fulfillment by Amazon, but we do help with the pricing negotiation with carriers. And then with self-ship, it's basically you do everything yourself. There are some good things to it where you, I guess, have more autonomy on the way that you'd like to ship your stuff. But yeah, it just depends on what you'd like for your own business and what your business needs are. Cool. So if we look at our fulfillment centres around Australia, we have 6. So there's one in Brisbane, there's 2 in Sydney. So we have our new robotics fulfillment centre, which is very exciting for us. We launched this, I think, earlier this year. We have 2 in Melbourne. We have 1 in South Australia and then 1 in Perth. Cool. And how is FBA helping Aussie businesses, you ask? So on average in 2020, average sales uplift was 26%. So, you know, we help alleviate the pain of shipping all your orders, and it also grows your business. So it's a bit of a no-brainer for us, but obviously definitely review it with your business needs. Cool. So we have a pay-as-you-go model. So there's 2 fees, or 2 main fees when it comes to selling with fulfillment by Amazon. So firstly, there's the fulfillment fee. So it's a flat fee all across Australia and New Zealand, and it's based on the weight of your products and the dimensions. And you can find all of this information on sell.amazon.com.au. So definitely review the pricing and see how this compares to your own. Do keep in mind the fulfillment fee includes the picking, the packing, the shipping, and the customer service as well. So it's not just as simple as looking at our fees and comparing it to your carriers. You also need to take in mind that, you know, we're helping with staffing as well in your own warehouses. And then there is the inventory storage fee. So it's charged per cubic meter per month. Of course, if you don't use the full cubic meter, you don't get charged for it. And those are the main 2. There are also other, you know, fees that are involved, but that just depends on your business needs. So you can use our labeling service if you really need. And yeah, there's just some other ones that are more optional. Cool. So here is an example of what it costs to use fulfillment by Amazon. So let's just go with an iPhone 13. For the storage fees, it's different between January and September and October and December, and that's just because we don't want people bombarding our fulfillment centers during Christmas peak. But for an iPhone, it costs less than 1 cent per month for storage, and between October and December, it is 1 cent. So that's really cheap. And then with the fulfillment fees, it will cost $5.73 anywhere in Australia. So the good thing, I guess, about this is that you're able to easily estimate your pricing, so that you know when you sell an iPhone 13, it's going to be $5.75. You don't need to factor in, oh, is it going to Perth? Is it going to Alice Springs? Is it going to Sydney? It's super easy for you guys to do a breakdown of your costs. But yeah, that is the fees. So how do we scale globally? So at the moment, there are hundreds of millions of active global customer accounts. The average annual sales on Amazon.com by small and medium businesses in 2020 was 160K USD, and there are 16 available global Amazon stores. So one example is amazon.com.au. You've also got amazon.com, which is the US store, and then there's a lot more. So from your one account, you're able to open 16 other stores. Amazing. So yeah, there's, I guess, a lot of stores in Europe, North America, Asia, and Australia. Cool. And we found that a lot of Aussie businesses are actually going into the US. Generally, when I work with sellers, I like to grow and scale their AU account. And then when the time is right and, you know, they have all the learnings and everything that they need, they like to launch in the US so that they can really grow and, you know, when you're selling in the US, it does help selling in Australia as well. Cool. And then, of course, questions on fees. So if you only sell on amazon.com.au, so sorry, it's option 3 here, it costs $49.95 AUD, and then you have to include GST. So it comes out to be roughly $55. And then if you, for example, want to open a US store, what ends up happening is that your selling fee changes to $39.99 USD, and then you have to add tax on top, but it gets split up between the 2 accounts. So you're actually like paying less for every store. And then if you start selling on other accounts as well, it's the exact same price, and it's just split up between all of the different marketplaces. So it's really easy to scale globally, and I'd say it's a bit cheaper as well. Just keep in mind that referral fees are different for every locale, and FBA fees are different for every locale as well. So definitely, check the pricing on every marketplace that you do sell on. Sweet. And then I'll pass it to Mickey to go through Amazon Launchpad.
Great. Thanks, Teresa. We're actually sitting in the same room, so it looks a bit weird, but we're just on each side on this. Just a quick background on myself. I'm the Startup Development Manager for the Launchpad program. And I'll explain a little bit more around what we do here and how we do it. But Teresa gave a really good context just around what Amazon in Australia looks like. I do see that people understand that American business is coming to Australia, but in terms of the numbers wise, 5.3 billion, really want to emphasize how much we've invested into the Australian economy, into our kind of local community as well, and that's where we really come in. And just to give you an idea, Teresa also mentioned, our warehousing, our logistics and distribution as well. And Neil, I know you asked a question just around FBA for talking about Amazon. Just to give you an idea of our latest warehouse size in Kemps Creek, it's approximately 26 rugby fields big. I don't know how else to put that in the scale wise, but it's really, really big. We kind of walk in and we only see about 10% of it at any time. It's the kind of first robotics warehouse in the Southern Hemisphere at that particular size. So just want to give you an idea of scale of where Amazon's really at, but we really want to bring it back to the community and where we are now. And that's where the Launchpad program comes in. What we're trying to do as part of our mission and value here is to build strong relationships within the startup and small business community, but continuing to empower and promote Australian and New Zealand entrepreneurship through Amazon. These are some of our brands, but what we're trying to do is look at how startups with innovation and unique brands build up from scratch, knowing that they really come from ground up. They really come from small businesses and really build themselves around marketing, around how good their quality, their product is, differentiation of ingredients and materials going forward. Just to give you an idea of some of the brands that we already have on Launchpad. Liars, I'll talk about a little bit more in a second. Upflow Brewing there, they do non-alcoholic beers, for example. I'm hoping everyone knows who Koala Mattresses are. They're that direct to customer model, but they have also launched onto Amazon. Lollipop is a baby monitor. WAW Hand Planes is a body surfing kit. Bunsters Hot Sauce, as well as Nike, which do a recycled material hammock. That was launched over in Queensland and now is also on Amazon as well. So just to give you a case study around Launchpad Brands and what we're trying to do, Liars, again, based up in Queensland, they basically were one of the first to start off the trend of non-alcoholic spirits with their counterparts like gin, like tequila and those types of spirits there, but have made it non-alcoholic. So back in 2018, they launched with their own e-commerce alongside with Launchpad here in Australia, in Europe and over in the US. They posted triple-digit growth in the first 8 weeks of their launch with Amazon, as well as on their own e-commerce, and currently valued more than 500 million over in the US as well. So that's a great Launchpad story for us as well. They did start with us and have experienced really scalable growth. And then you'll be able to also see them in places like Woolies and Coles going forward as well. Maybe not the actual bottle itself, but they also do cans of, for example, the mixed mocktails. So just to begin with, taking on what Teresa said, you have to be selling on Amazon and using all the tools to be available for the Launchpad program as well. But we want to provide more benefits to help you accelerate your business, understanding that, we're trying to build small, medium businesses, in relation to all the big retailers that we've got on board as well. So be able to give you more visibility, to be able to give you more scalability on Amazon through these benefits. So the first one is onboarding support. Onboarding support really looks into these 3 points here that we've got mentioned. So pre-launch support and account setup, detailed page optimization, which I'll talk a little bit about, and then growth strategy, which looks at, again, scaling globally with Launchpad. So talking about the first one really quickly on this page is pre-launch support and account setup. Usually this is where the most time is spent for a seller to onboard. We're looking between 3 to 6 weeks usually, depending on how quickly you want to work as well alongside our account managers. But we want to make sure you've set up correctly. As Teresa also talked about, it's about if you want to use FBA or the choices between that, it's about running how many ads you want to run, how do we provide you with the most leverage of tools as possible so that you can succeed on Amazon. Detailed page optimization, I'll talk about a little bit, where you'll appear on the Launchpad Storefront, as well as using our tools called Premium A+ content available to you. And then, as mentioned, growth strategy is about how we help you scale locally and then expand globally from that point onwards. Just want to talk really quickly about Brand Portal. This is exclusive to Launchpad sellers. It's an integrated management system within a platform called Seller Central, where you'll be able to have management across your inventory, across your ads, across your business reports, across your payments. This is within that as Brand Portal, again, exclusive, to be able to see a couple of different things there. So benefit enrollment, dedicated seller support, as well as any announcements that come out across any of the Launchpad programs in the world. So one of the things, for example, that will appear on here is that we recently launched $750 worth of ad credit for our Launchpad sellers, meaning that this will appear on there for you to go and action. You can see, I'm not sure how clear that screenshot is there, but it will say requires action, how to activate your ads credit from there. You can actually click down and activate your credit from there. So that's what the Brand Portal is trying to do. It's one place where it consolidates all our information, all our benefits, and all our announcements into one place, especially for our Launchpad sellers. I want to talk about Premium A+ content. This is what appears under a listing on Amazon.com.au. These are 2 real-life examples that our sellers have created. One is Nikki's Baby Wipes, and the other one is Big Softy. You can see their listings usually have only a couple of things. That's photos on one side, you'll have a little bit of description and prop name in the middle, and then you'll have the pricing on the right-hand side. Premium A+ just gives you the opportunity to really break down any purchase barriers through your own content and creative assets, as you can see there. So Nikki's has done videos there. Big Softy has done a really nice big photo showing exactly how the product's been used, as well as another video. We believe that videos and pictures speak 1,000 words. So instead of just having a listing with writing on the right-hand side, this really gives a full picture of what it looks like. And that's how we're optimizing a detailed page as well. I want to talk about something exciting. It's our storefront, Launchpad Storefront. This is exclusive to, again, the Launchpad sellers who get accepted into the program. You are next to the most innovative and unique brands that are on Amazon there. And this is a dedicated page just for our unique Launchpad sellers, as mentioned before. Just to give you an example of what we've done in the past is we've created pages like on the right-hand side, pub activations and campaigns for places like Tasmania, working with the Tassie government to really promote Tasmanian brands there as well. Anil, great to hear around the Big Softy lights. Very keen for you to try one of those and let us know how you go. They are Australian brands, as I mentioned. But just back on the storefront there, yeah, absolutely. This is where you'll find all the most unique and innovative products. And if you do, sign up and get accepted into the Launchpad program, you are really next to the most unique and innovative products going forward as well. For me, this is the most critical part of what Launchpad does, is providing PR and marketing opportunities to our small brands, as well as to the retail brands that we have on board. You've got to be right next to the really big brands that we've got on Amazon. And the reason for this is we really want to go back to our value of supporting, Australian and New Zealand entrepreneurship here and going, hey, we want to put you front and center of what we've done. Just to give you an example of what we've done with Black Friday sales, we had 3 SMBs that were all part of the Launchpad program. They were called Mermaid Head, Yes You Can, and Honey Sticks. They all got PR and marketing opportunities through this period to really push small medium businesses to be the front and center during the promotional event of Black Friday sales. So this is a really important part of what we do as part of the Launchpad program, really to give you the exposure, not just internally, but also externally as well. I just want to give you a heads up of one of the things that we also do is called innovation grants. It's like any other grant that's around, but this is what we provide to our Launchpad sellers. And we didn't do it in 2022, but we will be continuing this in 2023. As on the left, part of financial review is that we offered $200,000 grant packages for entrepreneurs. In the part in 2021, you can see on the right-hand side, these were some of the winners, including Upflow, the company called Bearsoft, Milk Drop. All these companies, all these sellers or small medium businesses that won this, we offered mentorship, masterclasses, as well as cash benefits to these sellers to really help them scale going forward. Again, this is an application. This is a grant that you can apply for from next year onwards. Again, if you get accepted, this will be part of what we'll be offering from 2023 onwards. So just before I finish up and before you jump onto sell.amazon.com.au to sign up as a seller, just to give you an idea of, for the Launchpad program, it is usually an invite-only program. You can also apply for the program as well if you meet the certain criteria. You go through the application form, it will ask you a couple of questions there, and then we actually curate that and we review that personally on a weekly basis for myself. So if we do miss it, sometimes it's not because we don't like you, it's more so that it's just a time capacity thing. But we do make sure that we go through each and every single seller that wants to join the Launchpad program to make sure you firstly fit the criteria, and if you do, we really want to work with you going forward to promote you as that as well. So just to finish up, if you're interested on either side, just to join selling on Amazon through Teresa's kind of presentation through there and learning how to use Fulfillment by Amazon, please jump onto this to find out more information. But also feel free to reach out to myself and Teresa going forward as well. But I'll pass it back on to Stacey just to finish up.
Thanks so much, Mickey. That's awesome. And thank you, Teresa. I'm just going to throw it open to questions now.